Hello, little Smokies. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. We've got a bunch of drama to get into. There's been quite a bit of stuff that's been happening, not just within the YouTube space, but the celebrity space. Also, last night's Love Island was definitely super crazy, so I do want to attempt to hit a little bit of a recap at the end of the episode if we have some time. So we got a lot to jump into. So, for those of you guys who don't know, from the thumbnail, I'll let you in on a little bit of tea going on. So, supposedly, TMZ put out yesterday that Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater are splitting up. And I think that this is a little bit interesting for a few reasons. Now, we're going to get into all of what I have to think about it and potentially what you guys have to think about it. If anybody has anything to say, feel free to let me know in the chat, because I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on the subject as we go. Caro Johnson said, wait, why are we called Smokies? LOL. I've been MIA for a bit. I'm so curious. See, that's what you guys decided to name yourselves, the Little Smokies. I didn't even come up with that. And a little Smoky is like a mini hot dog. So, it's cute. I love it. And Barely Functional said, because we love hot dogs, and it was Amanda's idea. Yeah, so hella credit to Amanda, because everybody loved it, and it just stuck, so now we're here. But anywho, let me go ahead and pull up what I have for us today. So let's get talking about it. So here's what TMZ put out as far as the breakup. But then we're going to get into a little bit of a timeline here. So let's start off with the breakup itself. So Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater have supposedly been quietly broken up for several months. And this is interesting, and I'm going to get into why a little, the full reason why a little bit later. But this is not the first time that she's had one of these supposed quiet breakups that happened for several months. If you guys remember her relationship leading up into her even meeting Ethan, she was married to Dalton, okay? And her and Dalton had a very interesting split off. We'll get into all of that. So it says sources close to the couple say that the split is amicable and the two still remain friends and are very supportive of one another. We're told they gave the breakup careful consideration, but ultimately decided to end the romantic relationship. Once again, this is coming off super, I was reading this morning, and I was getting so much deja vu. And it took me a second to even think about where I was getting the deja vu from, because I have followed Ariana Grande for a long time. So I'm definitely what you would call a stan. I'm definitely into the tea going on. So I was like, this is really interesting. Then it says that they first connected in July of 2023 when Ariana had separated from her then husband around the same time that Ethan had separated from his wife. Now, I got a timeline. I actually pulled up a comprehensive timeline of their relationship. But not just hers. Hers and not just hers. Hers and Ethan's, but hers and Dalton's as well. So let's go ahead and get into some of this shit here. So, her and Dalton, if you guys don't know, I have this one on my phone, and then I have the other one over here. So if I'm looking down a little bit, it's because I'm looking at this timeline on my phone. So her and Dalton, they originally, met in early 2020, so around, COVID time. There was rumors that they had been spotted kissing and that they had been quarantining together. And then in May, they officially came out and said that they were in a relationship together. Now, the thing that was interesting about Dalton was, out of all the people that she's dated previously, he was the least in the public eye. I mean, she's been known to date people like Mac Miller, Pete Davidson, so you can kind of get an idea. Oh, also, shout out to Rosebud Sims CC for subbing it up. So yeah, that was a little bit interesting. And then in December of 2020, after they've only been officially together a couple months, they got engaged. So she announced via Instagram that they were engaged, and he proposed with a diamond ring that had a pearl in it that is actually something that is her grandfather's. So a lot of people have questioned since then her wearing this pearl necklace that is clearly the same pearl from her ring. That was actually hers, not his. Just a little interesting tidbit. So they got married officially in May of 2021. So around the 1 year mark of them being in an official relationship was when they got married. It was like a private ceremony that happened at her home, and only 20 people were in attendance. So they have kept this relationship very like under wraps. Well, they kept that relationship very under wraps the entire time they were together. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting, and this is where the timeline gets a little bit fuzzy. So around the time of February 2023 to around the time of July 2023, this is when they started separating. So they celebrated their 2-year wedding anniversary. So if you guys remember the date, it would happen in May. So it's weird that this says from February 2023 to July 2023. Well, why does it say that? Because when they officially announced the news of their split in July of 2023, she ends up meeting Ethan very shortly after. So let me jump over to the timeline of her meeting Ethan, because this is where things start to cross over. So in November of 2022, he had wrote an anniversary post to his wife for 4 years of being married. December of 2022, she leaves to go do Wicked. So that would then make her and Dalton in a long distance marriage. Him and Lily weren't necessarily in a long distance marriage, but just to be noted that her and Dalton are now in a long distance marriage when this happened. So then, God, I'm all types of tied up on my own mic here. Sorry. And then, so supposedly, January 2023 is the official time when Dalton and Ariana separate. And this is according to TMZ. Now, the interesting part, like I said about this, is that in May of the same year, which is clearly 5 months later, they still celebrated their wedding anniversary as it was normal. Like, they hadn't even been married for a year before they were supposedly on the rocks. Now, like I said, TMZ says that they separate in January. Now, we'll go ahead and get into why I don't think that is real in a second here. And now in May of 2023, at the same time that she's celebrating her 1 year with Dalton, he is celebrating his wife, Ethan, is celebrating his wife Lily's first Mother's Day. And he puts in this post, he says, "Happy first Mother's Day to the most loving and caring and wonderful mom/person in the world." You might find it funny that Ariana Grande likes that post. July 16th, 2023. Ariana, and this is the same time that it's officially announced that they split. And the reason it got announced that they split is because she showed up in here. I'll show you the actual picture itself because it's got it here. She showed up to Wimbledon. I don't know how you actually say that. But she shows up without her wedding ring. And why I thought that this was really interesting. Ain't no celebrity in the world ready to show their hands off without a wedding ring. So obvious. If you guys don't know, a lot of times they call paparazzi to photograph them at events when they're having these outings. Most of those photos you see of celebrities just like wandering in the street. Why are you seeing paparazzi take those photos, but you never see like random people take those photos? Oh yeah, because it's not really happening. It's staged. They weren't just randomly walking down the street and the paparazzi pulled up. This is definitely staged. This was staged so she could announce the divorce. Now, the reason that ends up being more interesting is because the very next day, TMZ reported that they are separated and heading for divorce and that they have had problems before she moved to London. But the same day, 3 other sources had spoke to a different so all of this had been going through TMZ currently. So then all of a sudden, 3 different people that are supposedly either related to Dalton or related to Ariana in some capacity, either friends, family. Here's one source said, Ariana and Dalton tried to make things work, but ultimately they were just not a good fit. Dalton has been very private and low-key about their relationship with his work colleagues and hasn't been talking a lot about their split. So that's what one person had to say. Another person, Ariana and Dalton's friends have always been concerned by their whirlwind romance and felt their relationship would ultimately be short-lived. Their relationship has been rocky at different points. They've had trouble making time for each other with scheduling issues. Third person, Ariana and Dalton have had issues for a while and tried working through them, but couldn't. Ariana has been filming Wicked overseas and working a lot. The couple ultimately decided to end things. Now, it is really interesting to me to see 3 different sources reach out to not just different, because all of this, like I said, had been going through TMZ, to not only reach out to entertainment, but they all reach out to the exact same source. They all could have reached out to different sources. No, they all reached out to the exact same source. Why? I am telling you, this was fucking planned. One of their fucking PR teams, and definitely Ariana's, because hers is way bigger, sent these people in as PR to try to make it seem like their relationship had been worse than it is. And why do I think that? Oh. What did Dalton have to say? July 19th, 2023. 3 days after she was seen at Wimbledon without her wedding ring. Dalton said to US Weekly, third source, totally different from the other 2 sources, Dalton is really hoping to make things work with Ariana. Despite the rocky patches they've been through, he isn't ready to give up their marriage. He saw himself spending the rest of his life with Ariana and will do anything to get past this. I don't think this original breakup between them was as mutual as it was made out to be. She left to go start filming Wicked. Now, that is something I believe, I'm going to look up the exact time of filming. How long did Wicked film for? I want to say it was 2 years by the time we get done with this timeline. But 2 years, long distance, is going to put a strain on any relationship. England, so 13 to 14 months. So technically it was only for a year, but I know that she also had to, do, the press and all that stuff with it. So I don't think she was technically out of the woods yet for, 2 years and back home. Also, welcome in Gall Shank over on Twitch. Amanda said the call is coming from inside the house. I'm crying. Nava said, which is wild, because, bro, how would you even know? Yo, no, that's another point. That's another fucking point. And Amanda also said Dalton put it in the prenup that she can't write songs about him or the relationship, which is interesting because that's going to be, or I guess I can point this out now. So in that TMZ article that we were reading earlier that was talking about the breakup between Ethan and Ariana, apparently, according to TMZ, that her team has said that none of this album has anything to do with Ethan Slater whatsoever. Because there's an album coming out. So, to be noted. Harmonious Pretzel said, not even good songs. Look, I do like me some Ariana Grande. This is not Ariana slander, other than the fact that I do think she's a little messy. I gotta admit it. I can like the girl and still think that she is messy as hell, especially when it comes to relationships. Now, so July 20th, the next day after Dalton makes his first official statement. So TMZ reports that Ethan and Ariana are dating casually, noting that Ethan has been married to Lily since 2018 and they have a son together. And then it also says, this is the announcement for the first time, that Ariana and Dalton separated in January. That's the first time that they said that it was January officially. And she and Ethan have recently began dating. and he is separated from his wife. So we don't even get information about when he separates from his wife. But this is July. And in literally May, he was wishing his wife a happy first Mother's Day. Trifling. Then it says an insider goes to great lengths to make it clear that Ethan and Ariana only started dating after they'd split up from their respective partners. Once again, coming from an insider. And this is going to US Weekly. Why is this important? Because Dalton gave his side to US Weekly. See where I'm going with this? Okay. So then the insider says Ariana and Ethan are dating. However, things are fairly new. Ariana and Dalton split in January, and Ethan is separated from his wife. Still no date. Still no timeline there. Ariana and Ethan have only recently begun seeing each other, but they have a lot of fun together and are enjoying each other's companies. Tell me this is not shady as hell. So coincidentally, the stories is all of this story is getting broken through TMZ. And if you don't know how TMZ worked, yeah, they be digging shit up, but there's no way that all of this coincidentally is all going through TMZ. You know what I'm saying? This TMZ is getting a call from Ariana's team to break these stories, and they are sending insiders to the other news networks to try to give insider info so that they also have something to report on, but it's also still trying to make Ariana look good by saying, okay, well, yes, they definitely separated in January, so this has nothing to do with Ariana potentially cheating on her husband, but they don't say anything about the timeline of when Ethan separates with his wife. Why? Because Ariana's PR team was fully ready to let Ethan take all the heat for this, and they do. Y'all remember when this happened? Who got the most heat for this? Was it Ariana or was it Ethan for leaving his wife who just had a newborn child at home? Not saying he's not more trifling for that, but I'm also just saying they were both cheating, different levels of cheating, because obviously he is a child, but they were both cheating on their married partner. You know what I'm saying? Very, very interesting. Navis said, her influence will not be denied and her talent is limitless. Her music is fun. I just don't like her. I don't know what it is. That's honestly fair. Carol Johnson said, she might be the most talented vocalist of our generation. She's unreal. Dude, I agree. I think she is extremely fucking talented. And Ana Rita Gonzalez said, I've got to ask, was it worth ruining their marriages? And that's a really good question. Do I think that Dalton and Ariana were endgame? No. Do I think they should have even gotten married? Fuck no. I mean, how long is it from May to December? What, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 7 months. They were together 7 months before they were engaged and then got married in the month of the 1-year anniversary of their relationship. No one should, maybe some people should do that, but not Ariana. Ariana's just known for getting herself into these very whirlwind relationships. Not to bring up a touchy subject, but I mean, look at the stuff that happened with Mac Miller and the Pete Davidson situation, and that was a mess in itself. So now, another source. Now this one, once again, we're going back to entertainment. So it's still being kept between US Weekly, Entertainment, and TMZ. So another source, same day, says to Entertainment, Ariana and Ethan recently started dating. They have a lot in common and have a lot of fun. They didn't start dating until they were both broken up with their significant others, and Ariana and Dalton remain friends. Nothing about Lily and Ethan remaining friends. Nothing about, you see what I'm saying? It's always it's the same story. They have a lot of fun together. They have a lot of common, but making Ariana look good in this tight little bow at the end. So July of 2021, Ethan goes private on his Instagram. Fans start trying to dig up what's going on, so he tries to keep himself out of the limelight. And the same day, we get a new news source bouncing into the mix. Page 6. Page 6 gets a quote from Ethan's ex-wife, Lily. Lily says she is completely blindsided by the news of Ariana and Ethan dating, saying it's horrible. They were high school sweethearts together. They have a baby. and she's a wreck. So this whole time, they've been playing fucking PR, getting everybody to go in and say all the things they needed to say. What Ariana's PR team should have really been doing was calling up Lily and seeing what she was saying, because this woman, talk about a scorned lover, high school sweethearts, have a baby together. He's leaving her for Ariana Grande. Oh my God, what would you do? Like, what would you do? So crazy. Now, let's go ahead. An insider to the same news source says that they think that Ethan and Ariana's vibes are the reason that he and Lily suddenly broke up when nothing appeared wrong between them. So we go from, okay, Ariana and Dalton, they've been on the rock, whatever. We don't hear anything about Ethan and Lily's separation. Now we have an insider telling Page 6, who has not been contacted about this story with any insider sources before, hearing from Lily saying she's blindsided, she ain't fucking with this. Now we hear another source who is saying, oh yeah, no, Ariana and Ethan, they were already getting up close and cuddly. They were snoodling. Like, it's obvious why he broke up with his wife. They didn't really say all that, but that's what I'm saying. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. So then, on July 2022, 2023, Entertainment Tonight, separate, because the last one was Page 6, hears from Lily that she is devastated, and this is not the future she had in mind, but she's going to try her best to get back on her feet. She's an incredibly smart and driven woman and is truly the best mother. So we go from only people pumping up this Ariana-Ethan relationship to now we got the real sources coming out. And that's to Entertainment, who have previously only been covering the positive side of things. Also, Dummy, welcome in. Hello, everybody who's just coming in. Novice in the chat said, damn, she really used that one wish willow on him. That's what I'm saying, bro. No cap. You saw the fucking movie 16 Wishes, bro, where she be lighting them candles. She saved the 16th candle. She saved that shit from her birthday for now, bro. Crazy shit. Anywho. So, July 15th, a news source tells Entertainment that Dalton was having a hard time still considering Ariana his partner, but she has moved on. What? How does that make sense? So previously, we're hearing Ariana and Dalton have been separated since January. Now Dalton apparently is telling his homies, he's like, yeah, this sucks because she's moved on. It's really hard to still think of her as my wife. Did anyone give Dalton the memo that they were separated? Did anybody call Dalton and let him know? Or is he finding this all out from TMZ like we are? Because that was the vibe I was getting when all this shit was happening. I can't even fucking lie. Like, it literally gave the vibe. Nobody ever called Dalton. Nobody ever told him or even tried to tell him what the fuck was going on. So, July 26, 2023, TMZ claims that Lily feels like Ethan has abandoned his family and that they aren't on good terms. There's a quote that says, "It's understandable that emotions are high and it's hard seeing your ex move on, especially in such a public way, and her friends are trying to protect her," one source says. But Ethan and Ariana are just trying to lay low and be respectful of their exes as they pursue this new relationship. The same day, Ethan officially files for divorce in New York, and US Weekly, whole news source, comes in saying, yeah, Ariana and Ethan, they are very much in love, although his friends were worried that she was going to break his heart. Now, why would they be worried about that? Why would they ever be worried about that? Oh, because they were both cheating on their respective partners when they got together? like the most common sense thing that would make a relationship like not work out, because it's two cheaters cheating, two liars who lie. But I digress. So then, here, let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit. July 27th. By the way, this is all happening. Remember, July 16th is the day Ariana was seen without her wedding ring. So all of this has been happening in the span of like a fucking week. It is now July 27th. Ariana was just announced to be separated. Ethan got announced that he was separated with his wife during the announcement of him dating Ariana. All right, all of this is a mess and happening so incredibly fucking fast. So Lily gives the statement to Page 6 on July 27th that Ariana's The Story Really, Not a Girl's Girl, My Family is just collateral damage. She's kind of right. It's 3 years later and they're fucking broken up. Damn, she was spitting. She didn't even know. She didn't even know how much she was spitting, bro. That's so fucked. Barely Functional said you never know what you got till it's gone. Real. That's so real. You know he's gonna be sitting there alone in his room now, crying, looking at his wife's Instagram of what could have been a happy family with a child, high school sweethearts. What a loser. God. Then it says, sources say Lily is telling Ethan and others that she only cares about protecting their child. She's rightfully upset because her marriage fell apart, but Ariana and Ethan didn't do anything wrong. Ethan is trying to take the high road and hopes he can resolve this situation for the sake of their child. Whoever that source is who said that most ludicrous ass shit, yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. I mean, in May, he was literally like wishing his wife like happy Mother's Day. They just had their first child, all this shit. But no, yeah, clearly there's been problems for a while, and their separation has nothing to do with the same week that Ariana announced her separation from her husband. Nothing like that. God damn. Now, Daily Mail, another one, finally jumping in the mix. So now we're getting all sources everywhere. All the news places are hitting this. Another insider said, Lily hung out with Ethan and Ariana so many times. Ariana met their baby and even held him. They had dinners together in London, and Ariana told Lily that she wanted to have a baby one day and that she couldn't wait to start a family. She said, nah, I'm not even gonna play house on my own. I'm gonna take your house, bitch. I'm coming in. I'm taking the keys. I'm taking the baby. I'm taking the cat, the dog, the bed. I got it all. The man, it's all mine now. She kicked that bitch out homeless at the Barbie mansion. Crazy shit. Alexis Ghostraven said holding the baby is genuinely insane. Dude, that's why I even brought up the fact that she liked the Mother's Day post that Ethan made for Lily. It's like, it's almost like Ariana saw how good Ethan treated Lily and she wanted a piece of that. Because I don't think her and Dalton were like this most perfect relationship ever. Like, she always presented it positively, but I'm not gonna lie, the friends have always kind of like, even these sources, these friends or whatever, always made it seem like it was a quick thing that happened. It was a bit of a whirlwind. I never thought her and Dalton, like, I always knew if another guy came along who got her attention more, she was going to sway from Dalton. This is not surprising behavior from her. But this man, who I know nothing about, you were with her from high school. Fuck you. Diabolical. Why was he even bringing her around to hold the baby and shit like that? He knew his intentions, bro. On the set, here's what I guarantee happened. On the set, him and Ariana all like, mwah, 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 mwah. And then when he's at home, he's like all over his wife and then bringing Ariana to meet, like, oh, this is my coworker. This is my friend, you know. She's Ariana Grande. Who wouldn't want to meet Ariana Grande? Damn, Mel Raffles said, she said, I want it, I got it. Talk about the 7 rings. She threw her ring in the trash. Shit. She's literally about to stack them up. Who knew? 7 rings wasn't just a joke. That shit was a prophecy. That's how many rings she's gonna run through, bro. Crazy. No, Alexis Ghost Raven said, I'm pissed that it didn't even happen to me. I think we're all pissed. I think all of us right now are like pissed. And this didn't even happen this year. This happened like years ago. And I don't even think people knew how serious. Like a lot of people were talking about this when it happened. But I don't think people knew how fast the timeline happened, how trifling it was. Like it was so serious. Jekka said, I kind of like how the voice you do for Ethan is kind of like Elmo. Well, he does play SpongeBob, so maybe I gotta hit a... Oh, that was terrible. I'm never hitting that again. She's stolen other husbands. Shit. Now, the same source also said that Lily found out about Ethan and Ariana after visiting him on set, but they made the decision to put it behind them and work on their marriage. So apparently, let's just say you are... Oh shit, I just realized I never pinned my fucking donut link. Ooh, I'm a little stupid and silly. Let me go ahead and pin that really quickly, my bad. But whatchamacallit, so let's just imagine you're like, I'm gonna go bring my husband a little nice like sandwich at work. Me and the baby are gonna pop in, wearing your nice attire. You pull up and you open the door to the fucking stage house or whatever the fuck, and you see your husband on stage a little bit too close to Ariana Grande. So you're like, let me just mention it to him. Let me just see what's up. And then he spills his guts and he tells you everything. And then you're like, okay, well, we're going to work on this. Like, clearly. And he's like crying to you and he's telling you everything's going to be fine. You're like, let's just work on this. And you do. Only to then, when she doesn't have her ring on, he throws you to the wind. Saints and Serpents hit the break up with your girlfriend because I'm bored. She did hit that line. She did. Insane. Now, same source says there was a period when they were all going to try and work on their marriages and put the whole thing behind them. She thought they were happy, but that did not work out because Ariana and Ethan kept the affair going despite that.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Been exactly what I've said this whole time. It was an affair. I knew it. And I feel like a lot of you knew it. I feel like a lot of the general population knew it when it happened. But not that many people were talking about this one source, you know? But granted, it is just a source. No one knows who it is or why they remain anonymous. July 29th, 2 days later, TMZ reports that Ariana is giving Ethan space to work things out with his ex, Lily J, and that they haven't chilled in several weeks. That said, they are 100% still dating and want to see each other. Okay, I see that an alert tried to go off, and I don't know why it didn't. Let me try this.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Testing the hoa 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 hoa.
I thought out of all the voices that if any of them would hit the hoa hoa, it'd be that one. And that definitely hits something. Thank you, S1K. I feel like someone's got to test the hoa hoa again and try it. I don't know how to feel about that hoa hoa. So, I don't know. Hit that again. Let me know how you feel. Oh, I'm crying. Okay, so July 29th. So yeah, space to work things out. They haven't chilled in several weeks. That say they are still 100% dating and still want to see each other. Super weird. Super weird. Then in August, Shrazza Mill said that felt so polite. I don't know if I could change it while I'm live on air, but I will change it afterwards because that one is hella weird. But I don't know. See what you guys can get that weird voice to say while we have it for today. August of 2023, U.S. Weekly reports that Ariana wants to go public with the relationship, but has been told it's too soon to go public with him and to take things slower. She's very aware of how she's perceived by her fans, and she's trying to be mature. But if it were up to her, she'd be seen with him tomorrow. Ariana, why are you so trifling? Why are you so... You might as well just be seen with him if you're going to be seen saying these things. Well, she didn't say it, but a source said it on her behalf, so it's like you might as well. You might as well. Also, thank you, Amethyst Amarante. I do appreciate that. I'm just like crazy to fucking say. Jill Thrill said she wasn't committed to the throat game, I guess. I know you're talking about the TTS, but for a second I thought you were talking about Ariana Grande, and I was like, what do you know about Ariana Grande's throat game? No. It then says, a day later, a source tells the Daily Mail that Ari and Ethan were kissing in public before he'd ended things with Lily. They were sloppy on set. They were seen being all over each other while he was supposedly happily married to Lily. They were seen making out in a pub in Hampstead, and they were all over each other at Michelle Yeoh's Oscar party
Surprise,
in March.
Motherfucker.
Hoa 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 H Oa Hoa 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 Hoa.
Oh, you got it at the end. She hit a how. She got a little ho. She's way too polite, though. She's too nice. I'm like, okay, little nice TTS lady. It's like a little present. But thank you so much, Bear, for the 5. So, apparently, after all this time, August of 2023, after all this has gone down in July, we're finally getting the true story. The real story is that they were having an affair that led to them both leaving their respective partners. Why do I think that this quiet breakup with Ethan now is so suspect? Because when does Ariana ever have anything happen in her life that's quiet? When there's something shady going on. And that's all I gotta say about that. No, I'm joking. There's still more to get into a little bit. But really quickly, I do want to see if I could actually try to change the TTS voice live, because that shit is hella weird. So let me, oh, I closed it out. Fuck, but let me, Here, let me have him text me the link that I need. Oh. He's my goat. He just did it right then before I even asked him for it. Okay. He's telling me all the ways to do it, and I'm like, yes, you smart person. Okay, what kind of TTS voice would you guys want to hear? Just like, let me know. Let me know, I'm a little curious. Wait, what the fuck? And then I go to the alert box. Okay. What the fuck? The way he's telling me to do this is mad confusing. I have no clue what he's telling me to do right now. His instructions, I'm stuck at a certain point. I have no clue what he's saying. Rosebud said, I think she was mad that he was trying to fix things with his wife. So she spread the rumor that they were seen and kissing while he was married. And I think that was deliberately to fuck with him. That could be true. That could be really true. Here, let me just show him what I'm looking at. Like, I don't... Where? Oh, here? Oh, you're smarter than me. I'm a little stupid. I found it, guys. Okay, so out of our voice options, let me see what we got. Well, we need the ones that speak in English. We could do British. We got like Emma, Brian, Amy, Arthur. We could do English Indian. We got Ravina, Aditi, and Kajal. English Ireland, we got Nymph. Okay, let's try Neum.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is a test donation for $47.
That is way too polite. Way too polite. We need them aggressive on the beat. All right. Out of the U.S. names, we're picking Ivy.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is a test donation for $3.
What the fuck is wrong with Ivy? Let's try Joey.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is a test donation for $19.
I don't like any of these, actually. This is really stressful to do live on air. I actually regret doing this. Is there a German one? Because I'll pick that one. The problem is that a lot of... There's German, Austrian. I don't think there's English German. Sadly. There's only English British, English Indian, English Ireland, English New Zealand, English South African, and English US. That's it. All right. Well, we're just gonna put it on Gregory.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is a test donation for $33.
We're keeping it on Gregory. That's fucking funny, man. That's a fucking funny one. We're keeping Gregory. All right. Here, let me launch the new one. Bumpy bum bum bum. And then let me copy and paste this. Can somebody, if you get a second, test it out and make sure it's working okay? Because I had to update it on both sides of my thing. So let me know if it's working okay. Maybe Gregory will hit the hoa hoa. I believe in Gregory. All right. Big Porky said Gregory is definitely a little smoky. That's what I'm saying. Gregory does not play. You know that sound on TikTok that's like, mew. I said we needed more glitter. That's what Gregory came in like. All right. So let's go ahead and jump back into this. So, where were we at? I skipped way far ahead. I skipped all the way to 2024 on accident while I was doing stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we were in August. So then we move over to September. That's when they said that Ari and Ethan were still together, but they just haven't been being seen in public because they were trying to navigate things in private. Ariana Grande was seen still liking his posts on social media. And then later in the month, Ari and Ethan were spotted on a Disneyland date, which was really interesting. So then in October, they officially started living together. A source said Ethan informed his friends and soon-to-be ex-wife that he's living with Ariana Grande full-time in New York, and they're really happy and really good for each other. All of her friends love him. TMZ also published photos of Ariana and Ethan enjoying a rare public date night in New York City and says that he kept getting up from where she was sitting to come directly by his side, where she whispered sweet nothings into his ear and planted some smooches. And then at the end of October, she showed up to his preview of Spam-A-Lot, which I don't know if that's a play or whatever the fuck. Sounds like it maybe. Also, thank you, Sarah Tots, for saying W stream. Dev said just type in hoa hoa. I think it's lowercase, yeah. November 2023, Ariana and Ethan catching a show of Gutenberg, the musical, together at a theater in NYC. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip because they've been clearly together for a while. Now, in January of 2024, people were a little bit interested if this was, oh, wait. This one didn't go off. I heard the click again. It was supposed to go off, and it didn't go off. Weird. I think it's whenever I reset it, it doesn't go off. Nope, it still didn't play. You didn't update the TTS? I did. I updated the link. Damn, about to give me some shit.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It did go.
Let's test hoa 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 how hoa here.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Let's test hoa 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 how hoa here.
I think that's funnier than the original Hoa Hoa. I think we found our new Hoa Hoa, in fact. That is actually so fucking diabolical, bro. Gregory is the best TTS voice we have ever heard. Round of applause for Gregory. He fucking went in on that. Wow, he was getting sloppy on a beat. That was crazy. We are keeping Gregory. We are never getting rid of Gregory. 10 out of 10 Gregory. Wow. Wow. I saw, who was it? Annie Rita Gonzalez said, why would you rub it in your ex's face about how happy you are with your affair partner? Literally clock that shit. Literally clock that shit. Because this entire time this shit's been going on, that's been one of the things I've been majorly wondering is why the hell on earth you would do any of that? But hey, whatever. Now, in January 2024, her song Yes and came out, and people assumed that these lyrics were addressing people's like critiques of her relationship. Don't comment on my body. Do not reply. Your business is yours and mine is mine. Why do you care so much? Whose dick I ride? His wife cared. I think his wife had a right to care. His wife definitely had a right to care. That's all I'm saying. Now, also, same year, different month, so February. Apparently, it says that Ethan and Lily J are still in the meditation phase of their, or mediation phase of their split, and things haven't been finalized. It says also that Ethan and Ariana, while living together at her place, are very happy, but he's eager to get things finalized with divorce. He wants the option to propose to Ariana, so he's doing everything he can to expedite things. Once again, bitch. Why is every man around her so quick to be like, I need to get a ring. I need to get a ring. I need to get a ring. Sharza Mill said subgenre of healing era meditation, basically, you know? Okay, so let's skip ahead in time quite a bit. So they're seen together, yada, yada, yada. Let's go, like, all the way to the end of the relationship. Because it's just a bunch of them, like, basically being in love. Okay. So, then, March of 2026, so this year, after a few quiet months, Ari finally posted on her Instagram stories to congratulate Ethan on completing the run of his latest stage show. Congratulations on a beautiful run of this beautiful show. So very proud. And then, soon after Ariana kicks off her Eternal Sunshine tour, that's when the news got broken that they have quietly split and apparently parted ways a few months ago. Sources say the pair are still amicable, good friends, and gave their breakup careful consideration before deciding to make it official and part ways. Insiders also make it clear that Ari's new album was not inspired by the breakup and that songs on the album are not about Ethan. Soon after...
Surprise, motherfucker.
Test uppercase HOA hoa. Test lowercase hoa 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 hoa. I'm old Greg hoa hoa hoa. Test hoa hoa hoa.
Shit, Greg, you tell him. Shit, Greg. Freaky with it. That was fucking freaky. Holy shit. Shout out Devastator for the 5. God damn. He said, oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Brody got a mouthful of something. Oh, whoa. Yo. Polly Pockets and Art.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Happy you no longer have to share money. Smiley face emoji. Hoa 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 hoa.
Thank you, Just Lindsay. Novice in the chat said, get him pregnant. Yo, everyone's Someone's getting pregnant today, apparently, because he is so freaky deaky. That is so. Like, did you hear that shit? I'm like, did you hear that? Like, because I heard that. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. Also, I think the alert is. I don't know why it's like not showing up on the actual screen. It's just acting a little funny. But I'll get it figured out. I don't know why there's no dancing hot dog today, but hopefully it fixed. I don't know. I'm messing around with stuff after each donation to try to figure it out. So thank you guys. But also shout out Just Lindsay and shout out Devastator. Shout out Bear. All you guys who have donated today. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate y'all. Oh, also, at the very end of this, it does say, soon after, a people source weighs in saying Ari seemed very happy and it's been all very positive vibes regarding the breakup. So, this is a little interesting, and now, this is where I'm going to get into definitely, like, a theory here that may be a little unfounded, okay? But this is what I think. So, for those of you guys who don't know, like it was mentioned, she just started the Eternal Sunshine Tour. And the biggest thing that I've seen people talking about with the Eternal Sunshine Tour is actually not Ariana Grande's performance. It's Ariana Grande's body. So let me go ahead and get into this and why we're even talking about this. So if you guys have not seen this particular video, it's been going pretty viral on Twitter. So when she moves, you can very much see a lot of her bones in her shoulders. People are very worried about seeing her rib cage and her chest. This has been something that Ariana has dealt with for a long time. People have always been heavily critiquing her body. Now, I wanted to also bring up, because it's not just the one video that people are addressing, it's multiple moments from this Eternal Sunshine Tour. So I did want to bring up the other pictures. So there's this photo where people are highlighting how heavily you can see the bones in the back of her shoulders. There's this photo where once again you can kind of see like the bones on the chest. The arms look very, very thin here. There's this photo, which is not the best photo to go off of because it's from a Jumbotron, but it's just even the way her jaw looks so like defined, very, very pronounced collarbones, just signs of somebody who potentially has a ED, right? But then I saw this post, and I think it's important to bring up. So this post compares Ariana Grande over the years. Now this era, I'm pretty sure, is when she was open about having an ED, so not really the best one to go off of, but as you can see her ribcage in this one. This is a very old photo of her. This is a very old era. You can still see the bones here. This one, it's super prominent. If she's got her arms like back like this, it really shows on her chest very obviously. And I'm pretty sure the orange was Dangerous Woman era, or not Dangerous Woman era, maybe even Seven Rings era. I could be wrong. Here's another one where they talk about, like, you can see the chest, because this is the biggest thing people talk about is the collarbones and these chest bones here. So, I did want to be fair in my reaction of it by saying that there is proof that is showing that, you know, maybe it's not exactly how people are making it out to be. You know what I'm saying? Because there is photos of her looking, like, showing off similar bones over the years. But the problem is that there is currently an Ozempic craze going on in the celebrity world. And we were actually talking about this in the VC last night. Like, for example, have you guys seen what's going on with Kelly Osbourne? I'll pull up an example for you. Kelly Osbourne before and after. That one's like one I'm really concerned about. Yeah, this one drives me like crazy. Let me try to even find like a comparison that's not like super old, because I hate when they compare like the super old photos of them to like the recent ones. Here, this one's a little bit better. I'm trying to find, like, not crazy year comparison wise. Because they will bring up the oldest photo of this woman and compare her to her now, and that's not fair. There we go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. So here's what's going on with Kelly Osbourne. Now, granted, Ozzy passed away last year. She is very much grieving. She also did, though, at the same year, get engaged. So, if you've seen with Sharon, she looks similarly skinny, but this is a photo of Sharon Osbourne, or this is Sharon. This is a photo of Kelly Osbourne from before Ozzy passed. This is after. And it was, I'm talking a drastic and fast jump in this weight loss. And the easiest answer is the face, like when you see that, that's Ozempic. Or buccal fat removal. The only thing that will make that face have that skeletal look like that is buccal fat removal or Ozempic. And the reason Ozempic does that is because it also works on your buccal fat. So, when I'm seeing like shit like this, and I'm seeing what's going on currently with like Ariana Grande and a lot of celebrities that people are talking about, we have to acknowledge the fact that we are currently moving back into the skinny era of the internet. That we are currently moving back into the era when, like, do you remember when on Tumblr everyone like was talking about wanting like a thigh gap and all that shit? We're back there. We are back there where like flat stomach is in and body positivity is kind of out. It's happening though in a quiet way. It's been celebrities all slowly doing Ozempic, putting it in our faces that skinny is like the T, skinny is cunt, like all that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's like pushes of Ozempic in different types of GLP-1s. So it's the heroin chic era. Exactly, Amanda. Exactly, Ana Rita Gonzalez. We're back in the heroin chic era. It's similar to like the early 2000s, back when things like Next Top Model were popular shows. And so because of that, you're going to see an influx of celebrities who are dropping weight. And do I think that Ariana Grande is absolutely a victim of the skinny era? Yes. Is she somebody that we should be looking at a closer eye than some of the other celebrities? Not necessarily, because I'm going to be real. Looking at Ariana Grande versus other people, there are definitely people whose weight loss was in a faster manner and like, the one thing I can say about Ari's weight loss is through Wicked, she did lose a lot of weight from just over, like, doing the filming and stuff. Like, it happened gradually over time. It wasn't just, like, a quick drop for her. Versus when you look at Kelly Osbourne, this was in the matter of a year. How drastic. Those two photos are, like, literally a year, maybe 2 years apart. It's not that far apart. So, just to be noted with that. Barely Functional says it sucks because it's not healthy. We need to push just being healthy and not looking a certain way. See, that's the biggest problem is like it, like not, I hate the whole like idea of like big boned or whatever. Like obviously that's not true, but people's bone structures are obviously different. Like women have talked about it before, like having like a wide rib cage and that causing you to not want to wear like certain outfits or whatever the fuck. But there's nothing you can do about your bone structure. Like that's generally like the problem. I mean, although something interesting. So I actually did go to the gym today and I met with like a trainer lady and we were talking about, because I did a body scan today and we were talking about like body fat percentage and all of that. And she was telling me like there's something called skeletal bone weight or skeletal weight, something like that. Or skeletal fat weight, something like that. Okay, I don't know. But anyways, so she was saying like the amount of fat on your skeleton can cause like health problems down the line, like you to have back issues down the line because your skeleton kind of like sheds itself like every 10 years, something like that. It might be straws and milk. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bad with the words. She was explaining things to me as if I was a toddler, okay, in the best way possible because I really got what she was saying by the end of it. But basically, so like it's not good to have zero fat either was like part of what she was adding to this, because then it's like almost like an opposite problem where your bones are too weak, if that makes sense. So it's good to be at an in-between. To be healthy, you do want to have some fat on your body and you also want to have some muscle on your body. You don't want to be all one or the other. I mean, Bodybuilders do as they want, though. You do as you want. Skeletal muscle! Skeletal muscle, beloved Tally. Skeletal muscle. You fucking genius. I love you. That's exactly what she was telling me. The skeletal muscle. So she was going over, like, the percentage of that for me and all that shit. Apparently everybody's got one. If you ever want to get started at the fucking gym, by the way, go to Crunch Fitness. That shit really fucking impressed me today. I was very happy with going there. So this is my first time ever signing up. She gave me a lot of fucking info, so thank you, beloved Tally. Appreciate you. But Nava said Ozempic and Mcjuggernuggets. I think it is Mcjuggernuggets. Saved my life. I'll defend it for people who actually need it, but these slim folks using it for weight loss gotta stop. It's so scary. That's so true. And I'm pretty sure even Ozempic, it started as like a diabetes medication, I'm pretty sure. Because I know my mom is on Ozempic for her diabetes. And dude, it has helped her life a fuck ton. I mean, she's definitely lost weight, but it's not like in a scary way. It's not like she dropped like 40 fucking pounds in a week. But she had been on it for like 3 weeks when I went to go visit her. And there was like a visible like weight loss, and she like felt good like that. And the biggest thing is she said it would like suppress her appetite, so she just was never really fucking hungry. So Amethyst Amarante said, I have broad shoulders, big rib cage, tumbler skin at era, fuck me up as a tween. Dude, I'll be open about it. I have a really, really wide rib cage. That's like always been like one of my biggest insecurities. And I'm one of those people that when I like turn to the side, I've got like the B shape. Because it goes like bump and then bump on the stomach. I've never had a flat stomach. I was never someone that was like, even through all of like my ED eras of life, I was never able to get to having a flat stomach. And that's, I think, okay, because I think that's just my body. I think that's just the way it's wired, right? Like, I don't know. It's something that is hard to get over. It's something that has absolutely bothered me for like a majority of my life. But I'd rather like be 25 and just be open about the things I'm insecure about now than just like let them eat me alive every night. You know what I'm saying? Mrs. Moonlight said, I tried Ozempic and it made me so sick I couldn't even keep water down for days afterwards. Yeah, there's different stuff for everybody. Ozempic definitely doesn't work for everybody the same way. I want to say it's a GLP-1, but I could be wrong. I don't know much about shit, but I want to say that there's other ones you can try that are similar. Beloved Tally said, same here. I'm 127 pounds, but curvy, so I will never be skinny. Dude, I got my weight taken for the first time in like a year, and I was just not expecting the scale to say what it said. Okay, fine, I'll just fuck it. The scale said 122, which was really shocking for me because I haven't been over 120 pounds in a really long time. And I felt like that was almost like the ED brain like coming out in me. That was like a little demon like crawling up there, and it was like, you should feel a little insecure about this. And I definitely did when I saw it. But then like when we were going over like my like BMI, my body fat percentage stuff, and it was like all in the green, I felt like so much better. So Shreza said, but you're tall. Yes, like I should be 122 pounds. It's just something that has been like something, I don't want to say something 40 times. God, that was annoying. It's just always been like that thing in the back of my mind that like bothers me. I never wanted to be over a certain weight because like there's like that perception. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But thank you guys. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate y'all. Jill said, I'm pretty tall, but all of that weight goes below my belly button, so I have an aunt physique. Okay, Miss Pixar Mom. You tell him. You fucking tell him. Leon Kennedy said, Zay, how tall are you? So this is actually an interesting thing that also happened today. During the body scan thing, it said that I was 5'4", but I have been 5'6" my entire life. Like, every time I got a physical from, like, 8th grade on, they told me I was 5'6". But now I get this body scan, and they tell me I'm 5'4". But then I did see on the machine when I was walking away that it said I was supposed to, like, have straightened my back, and I didn't straighten my back, so I'm thinking I literally hunched myself 2 inches down, which is pretty embarrassing. The fact that I'm out here, like, hunchback in Notre Dame, taking 2 inches off my height with a little hunch, like, that's crazy. I really slouched so bad, though. Like, if y'all saw me in person, let me show you. It's pretty bad. I just be just full slouch from the side. Just full slouch, bro. It looks so much worse in person. I can't even get the full perspective in. Alexis Ghost Raven said you had that cooked shrimp posture. No, literally. Literally. That was crazy. I'm shrimping. It's just scrimple as that, man. Yo, Barely Functional said working out will help with the slouching. That is actually part of what I'm trying to work on, is the slouching. I also want to get my stamina up. So we'll see how things go. S1K said keeping it shrimple. It's as shrimple as that. Dev said doing stomach vacuums says training your transversus abdominis will help if a flat stomach is your goal. Also helps with lower back pain and is super beneficial and often overlooked exercise. All right, text me this like on Discord, because I'm not gonna lie, I have lower back pain as well. So that just sounds like a win-win situation, you know what I'm saying? I'm down for it. Also, Barely Functional said it helped me because you strengthen your back muscles. Yeah, I think that's part of it, is like, honestly, I get tired from sitting like this for too long. Like, so that should help. Dev said, I got you. Awesome. Leon Kennedy said, Zay, would you play a horror game? Would I? Yes. Do I want to? No. So I guess we'll do the first ever goal on this channel, y'all. If you guys are interested in seeing me play a horror game tomorrow night, I'll play a horror game if we can get, if we can get 10 $5 donos. That's a hard ask. But I will play whatever horror game it is. I won't just start the game. Like, I will play it till completion. It might not be till completion tomorrow night, but I will keep playing the game until I finish the game. And I'll let you guys pick the game. Like, I'll have you vote. I don't know what all I have in my library. I've already got some horror games downloaded, so I'll probably either go with what's in the library or, like, have, like, 2 options that are not from the library, but we'll figure it out. Exile said, just say $50, re. Okay, well, but, like, saying $50, fair, but, like, it's, you could split it up as $5 $10 donos. Or 10 $5 donos. It just sounds nicer. I don't know. Blood Rada said it, Zay, I've been listening the whole time, and I've been on Ozempic, but I gained during my trip, and I almost beat myself over it, and I had to remind myself it was okay. 2 pounds is probably weight fluctuations, and it's normal. That's also water weight, bro. That's literal water weight. Like, don't even stress about that. Also, clothing weight. People forget about that sometimes, too. Like, if you weighed yourself with clothes on, like, your clothes sometimes weigh differently, so just take that in account, too. Loki said she's still traumatized. Exile will take a minute, and I feel like that's fair. I feel like it's absolutely fair, and that's not saying it's a one-day goal. Like, that's if we hit like 10 $5 donations between today and tomorrow, then I'll do it on Friday. Like, it'll just be running.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Horror game, devilish face emoji.
Hell yeah. I'll put up a little text thing so you know where we're at with it. Goal. Because I haven't done a goal over here yet, so this is my first time I actually have to put text on the screen. So it'll be 1 out of 10. $5. It's so huge at the top because I literally haven't done it in so long. 10 $5 equals per game night. Thank you, Malin. Much appreciated. Let me just shrink this down so it's not all giant and covering my entire fucking screen. Boom. And then, why is there a percentage? I'm gonna quash out a little bit. There we go. Alright, that should be good. I think it's good right there. Let me just add a border to it because it's like weird without a border. I don't know why. Background. No, where's the board? Oh, outline. Why is the outline white? That's a little stupid. It's a little dumb. Okay, now you can't even see the outline. I hate this shit. 20. Boom. There we go. There's the outline. Looks good now. Alexis Ghost Raven said milkshake spotted. Yeah, she's been climbing up here today. I think Pumpkin's right here. I don't know if you guys can see her. It's like an I Spy game, but Pumpkin's in the little bug house right here. Rosebud said, I would like to specifically petition against Dead by Daylight, though. You can, because I will not be playing Dead by Daylight. I don't like that game. I really don't. I've seen gameplay of it. It just does not appeal to me. It just feels like hide and seek with horror characters, and I'm not feeling it. Sorry. I've never played it, so I know I'm speaking outside the house, but, like, don't worry about it. I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah, it's hella overplayed. One of the options I was thinking is doing the Mortuaries Assistant. I started that game back when I did the gaming channel in the LCU, but I never finished it. So I'd be down to either, like, continue from where I left off or just start it over because it's been so long. I've also got other stuff. I don't even know what all I've got in my Steam library. I could just fucking look. I could literally just pull this up and look. Here, let's see. What kind of fucking horror games do we got? He's got most of the Resident Evil. So Resident Evil 4, 5, 7, Requiem, Resident Evil Village. I don't think the Alien game works, but we have it. I don't know what most of these... I've not even heard of, like, half of these games, to be so real. And then you just see my game, Little Kitty Big City, in between, like, Killing Floor, Lava Mortis. I don't know, Layers of Fear. Like, what even are these games? I got Outlast on here. Man, I don't know what half this shit is. I really don't know. Subnautica seems like a horror game to me. I have Subnautica and I haven't played that yet. But we did get 1 out of 10 for it, so hopefully we'll hit that. But I did want to get into a little bit of something else today. I know a lot of you guys have probably heard what's going on with this whole Mcjuggernuggets situation, but I wanted to go ahead and get into it because I thought it was a little bit weird. I think a lot of people are going at this from the perspective of, like, thinking I'm gonna be real, I don't believe this. Like, not that I don't believe it, but y'all know how Kid Behind the Camera is, and they do that, like, weird, like, let's take tragedy in our life and let's, like, play things up, or let's, like, constantly pretend to, like, break up on camera for views, like, things like that. Like it's that kind of content. Those, like, fake whatever stories. But anyways, so this is what came out. So it says that influencer couple Jesse and Ashley Ridgway opened up about a devastating decision, revealing that they terminated the pregnancy for their unborn child who had Down syndrome. So here's the announcement that he put out on his social media. I'll read it out to you guys. Mcjuggernuggets says, this week, my wife and I made the difficult decision to terminate the pregnancy due to trisomy 21. The choice was not made lightly. We really appreciate all of the personal stories that you guys shared with us, especially the unconditional support we received from fans with no matter what we decided. I know some of you may be very disappointed to hear this news. We are devastated. This has been extremely traumatic for both of us, especially Ashley. She underwent the procedure earlier this week and is on the mend. Thankfully, everything went smoothly, but emotionally we are drained. Trisomy 21, also known as Down syndrome, is caused by an extra chromosome. It is caused by an error in cell division, like a glitch. The odds of a baby having it is 1 in 1,000. When I first confronted this news, I was shocked but optimistic. If they're a little slow intellectually, then we'll make it work. I signed on to be a parent, come what may, but I didn't fully understand what Down syndrome entailed. Once we made it public, it became clear that most people don't know what Down syndrome entails. And no, it's not the same as autism. 50% of babies with Down syndrome have heart defects. 75% will have hearing challenges. Over 50% will have vision problems, impaired immune function, developmental disabilities, learning disabilities, delayed physical movement, poor muscle tone, structural issues with the face, decreased lifespan, etc. Sadly, the list is long. Feel free to look it up. Down syndrome isn't a blessing. It's objectively shitty from a health perspective. I just didn't realize how rough it is for the child, let alone the family. More often than not, they would be full fully dependent on others for the rest of their lives. The miscarriage risk is also close to 50%, which made matters worse. They may never see the light of day, and it puts Ashley further at risk. We spoke with doctors, friends, family, and genetic counselors and learned that up to 90% of women terminate their pregnancy after learning the baby has trisomy 21. This was way higher than I expected. I thought it would be lower, given I hear so many say they kept or would keep the baby. I believe that's because most terminations happen privately. It feels shameful, a lot of judgment being cast. You never think you'd be in this type of situation until it happens to you, and then all things change. To all of my fans who have weighed on this topic, who have autism, Down syndrome, or any other conditions, we appreciate you. You matter a lot, and we're glad you're here. I commend you and your families for having the strength and courage to push forward. As for us, we made the difficult decision that we believe in the long run will be beneficial for our family. Thankfully, we had a choice. It will take a little time to move on, but we are excited to try again in the future and hopefully have a better outcome. Love you guys and thank you for understanding. So, this is a little bit interesting because this seems very, very, like the way he writes this, when I read that, I'm like, okay, well, that's just him being like serious about it. And I'm going to be real. I think people that are trying to heavily judge this man and like use this as like, oh, well, this is the biggest YouTube news. Nah, that's not fucking it. It's absolutely not it. And if he's just coming from a place of being genuine and trying to share with people who have also been through a similar situation, that it doesn't need to be a shameful situation, then I don't think that he should have been beaten and battered on the internet the way he was. Now, I was so curious, like, how did it get to that fucking point? Like, why is it even here?
Surprise, motherfucker.
You should do Outlast trials with friends.
Ooh, Outlast Trials with friends. I could potentially do that. I think S1K can answer if we have that game in the chat or not. I want to say yes. Is that just part of Outlast? I don't know. I'm a little dumb. Moon Kitten said, who was that from? This is from Mcjuggernuggets. And like Alexa said, like, why would he post about this so much? That was my question. So I thought it ended there. I thought it was just that Instagram post until this. This is what kind of changed my opinion on this entire story. So he put out this video. So he's got two different channels. He's got the Mcjuggernuggets channel, which is his main channel. And then he has this side channel, which is the Jesse Ridgway channel, which is like his name. So he did this video.
It is a dark, dreary day, guys. I just had a full body MRI. That's not what this is, but like literally pulled in. I was like, get the camera ready. It's right before Memorial Day weekend. We got the results back. These are the fish results, they're called. They're just like temporary. It basically gives you like a yes or no. Like it gives you an answer without we don't need the details. We pretty much have to, we don't even know if we're gonna hear back right now. It's later on a Friday. We got called and I was away and we wanted to do this together. It's a big deal. If we don't get her now, we're gonna have to wait the 3-day weekend and not get an answer till Tuesday.
I've been like dying waiting for you to get home.
She's like pretty much 4 months pregnant right now, so there's a lot riding on this. It's high stakes. We're gonna find out if the baby has Down syndrome confirmed or the baby's normal and it was a false positive. That's the scary.
I'm sorry. I would like to start off with the reason that I've never been able to watch content like this is because I can't stand the fake fucking acting in this video. Let's be real. They definitely are acting right now. We can all see, like, you all see the way they're moving, the way she's, like, putting on the, like, whatever the fuck. Even if this is a real situation happening for them, they are playing this up for content, and that's what I find to be gross about this. It gets even grosser. It gets hella fucking weird, though, to when we get into what the fuck he did last night. But we're not even there yet, so let's keep going on this.
Scary thing, guys, is we both feel like it's going to be good news and the baby's normal, even though the odds were stacked against us. So like we will both be gutted if it is bad news. I'll definitely be, before I was able to be like, oh, it'll be fine.
Okay, let's just call.
Yeah, all right.
All right, ready?
Put it on speaker.
Yeah.
You hear him? You ready? Like, put it on speaker. This is something that should be done privately. So, and I understand, like, here's my thing. You have these people who make this, what do I call this content? Like, what should I call it? It's like tragedy. It's like tragedy content. You have these type of people who make this type of tragedy content, who will do shit like this time and time again. It's just so gross, and they're just so desensitized to it that anytime something bad happens in their life, the first thing that they think of is, how can I pull up the camera to play this up? Do I think that this is a real thing that they are going through? Yeah. But do I think that they are, like, playing up the reactions and playing up the way that this is going? And like Bear said, being performative? Absolutely. Tragedy farming. Thank you, Lieutenant Aries. Tragedy farming. That's what I was looking for. Tragedy farming.
Please answer. Please answer.
Come on.
And I'm gonna pause and also say, I think Kid Behind a Camera is also guilty of the same thing. While I do fuck with him as a person, his content, especially before the LCU, was all that. And that's where Mcjuggernuggets, like, learns shit like that from. There's, like, a whole, like, group of these people who only do tragedy farming on the internet.
I don't have to wait the full weekend. Come on, dude.
I'm unable to answer my phone right now, but you can leave me a message.
Probably got out at 5 type shit.
Yeah, I think that's why she called me twice, because she's like,
4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
You know how they're also, how I know that this is, like, performative and playing it up? They could have skipped all this shit. They literally did not need to include any of this in the video, other than they wanted the reactions of being like, oh my god, like, so, like, wait, watch 9 minutes of this video to figure it out.
To be continued. Ashley was not giving up.
I'm desperate.
Whether it's good or bad, we just want to know at this point. It's been a long month and a half since you guys saw us find out the gender and then that bad news. I didn't share this publicly, but we did have an ultrasound done.
Oh yeah, you saw the clips for that they were just talking about when they found out the gender and the bad news. Not only did they do their gender reveal as a video, they also revealed the initial, like, that the baby might be born with Down syndrome in that same video, and, like, recorded the entire reactions to this, had her, like, crying on the ground, and that was, like, the thumbnail, by the way. Like, crazy ass shit.
Around a month ago, and we looked at the NT, or the nuchal translucency or something. Basically, there's this, like, thin line on the ultrasound that denotes sometimes if the baby is more likely to have Down syndrome or not. Facial features, the bones, that NT looked normal, was within normal range, so we were, like, pretty happy about that. We did the amniocentesis just a couple days ago, and it was pretty extreme. They did injections into her stomach area. They stuck a big needle right into one side, and the baby actually rolled over into the needle. It was terrifying. They then had to do a whole nother injection.
It was painful.
Some of this is just so private. I'm just like, why do, like, oh my god, like, like, how could you be with a man who's like,
Surprise, motherfucker.
Here's 2 5s. I prefer to see Re7, but any horror game would be fun to watch. Please just record whatever you play so I can watch it in the morning. DXCat, DXCat, DXCat.
why does the DX cat sound diabolical? Thank you, V Midnight. Oh, here, let me full screen myself really quickly, and I'm just gonna, like, literally copy paste the goal over to the other screen that I'm using right now, because we'll probably be on the React screen for a little bit, just so you guys don't forget that it's up there. But thank you so much to V Midnight, because now we are 4 out of 10 for that goal, so appreciate y'all. Let me just get a little text thing, goals, and oh well, goal. How about just goal? Goalie. There we go. All right, and then let me shrink it down, and then I'll put it just right up here where my, like, Zayzooted thing is, so it's not, like, too big on the screen, but you guys can see it. Okay, and that takes us to 4 out of 10. Thank you so much, V Midnight, once again. But yeah, so, like, this whole thing is just super weird. It feels like it just doesn't feel like this. Like, when I first read that announcement, I could be, like, almost sympathetic. I was like, okay, well, this is just a guy who's, like, literally being, like, attacked on the internet for being, like, genuine about the fact that, like, he's not going forward with having the baby, which, like, well, if he already announced that he was having a baby. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is just a mess, but it gets real fucking gross. Real gross. When we get into what happened I think it was last night. He did a live stream, and we're gonna get into that in a bit.
Painful.
Well, thank you guys for all the support, and I think we could be about to find out right now.
I know, I'm already crying, and I don't know why.
When they did the amnio, they do it ultrasound guided. It's now a month later from our other ultrasound. This ultrasound, everything looked normal. Everything looked healthy.
They said everything looked normal. That's just not us just saying it.
Yes.
They said everything looked normal.
Also, one of the nurses said they have been seeing...
Well, I remember what I was saying before. I was saying, like, how could she be with a man who would, like, use such a terribly private situation for content? But to be honest, she does it too. She's been with him so long. She takes a part in all of this the same way that people say, like, Bridget takes a part in Kid Behind the Camera's content, you know?
Handful of false positives from these tests. So there's another...
Oh my god.
This could be it. I don't know.
Dang. She doesn't have...
So we tried hitting up her doctor, all this crazy stuff. Turns out the hospital just sends all their stuff to LabCorp. I'm quite familiar with, because I've been doing a lot of testing myself through there. Can I get props though?
Change anything.
I gotta get props for that. I mean, come on.
Are you ready?
I guess this is where we're doing it.
Yeah.
Right where the
That's the face of someone who already knows the
prostitutes
result.
bled.
Probably for good luck.
Sorry, what did he just say?
Where the prostitutes bled.
Probably for good luck.
What the fuck did he just say? What is he talking about there? I don't watch this motherfucker. I don't know what he's talking about. But that was weird as fuck to say in the video of you trying to give this serious diagnosis. One more time.
Right where I guess this is where we're doing it.
Yeah.
Right where the prostitutes bled.
Probably for good luck. Just like...
Is this the time? Is this the time? What are you even talking about, bro? Weird motherfucker, man.
We did it at the casino.
I'm scared. Please, please. I'm scared to hit it, to be honest. I'm very scared.
Can you hit it?
So I don't know what, I guess we want to see negative, and that's a good thing. Like, I'm assuming it'll be trisomy 21 again, right? I mean, I don't know. No matter what happens, it'll be okay.
I fucking hate this guy. I really hate that. I'm watching this and you can tell she is emotionally actually going fucking through it. This should have never fucking been on camera. And this is why people are attacking them the way that they fucking are. Because this could have been a private thing. He could have made the announcement he made on his Instagram post. Done a video like telling like the people, okay, yeah, this was the diagnosis. It could have been a short little 3-minute video. It didn't need to be all this.
We'll get through it. I know it'll be hard if it's bad.
I know, I just hope this nightmare's over.
Here we go. Thought we're gonna see the result. I have to download the official report. Abnormal insight result. Consistent with trisomy 21. No.
What is it? Wait. Where are you seeing this?
No.
Let me see.
And the way he's saying that, no, like it's so like and no, this is not live, Strathmore. This was a recorded video. They edited and put out. There are cuts in this video.
I can't see it.
It says abnormal insight result. Blah blah blah. Showed 3 chromosome 21 signals consistent with trisomy 21 Down syndrome. Genetic counseling is recommended. Pattern consistent with
Oh, like this is so hard to even watch. Alexis said in the chat, I feel only slightly bad for her, but she's willingly participating in this too. And that's the fucked part. Is like she also had to agree to sit down knowing that she's gonna have a reaction like this more than likely and record this. Like this is so sick. Like you want to be empathetic to her like as a woman, but it's like you know she's taking a part in this fucked up shit.
trisomy 21.
I do feel for her though. I really do. I could only imagine.
Hey.
This is just too personal. Cut the goddamn camera. This is an edited video. He could have cut it here, bro. He did not need to, like, let all this play out. And it just feels gross to even watch, bro. Like, I'm literally about to skip ahead. It's just them crying for, like, a long time. For a long time. He could have just skipped to the part that I'm about to skip to and, like, let it continue from there. It is 3 minutes of just her crying in his arms. Like, that's just so, wow.
Why?
Not the result we wanted to see, guys. I started to get kind of a not good feeling just when the results were sitting here. That's why I didn't want to open them. I started to feel really uncomfortable about it. Just kind of in shock, like, truly.
Your fucking reaction is lacking to these results, bro. Like, it almost, like, there's, like, a shock reaction. There's, like, a shock and, like, oh my god, I almost, like, don't know how to react. And then there's, like, it just seems like he is emotionless.
We talked before this, guys, about what would we do if we confronted this scenario. Because this was the more likely scenario. We talked about terminating the pregnancy. Obviously, things could change because this is traumatic, like, very traumatic. And I know you guys even watching this, this is traumatic for the whole community. I think now that we have a definitive result, we'll talk with these counselors and we're gonna have some hard conversations.
Typically, if the initial FISH result shows trisomy 21, the final full karyotype or microarray analysis also confirms it in more than 99% of cases.
It's just all very overwhelming and confusing to navigate.
That's such an interesting point. So Barely in the chat said, hot take, I don't think she's actually crying. And maybe she is, but Alexis says, I think she was crying, but hamming it up for content. And that could be true. And if she is, that's even worse, because not only are they, like, making light of this situation and making it into content, but then she's also making light of how women react in these scenarios. This is one of probably the most heartbreaking things that you could find out as a woman who's pregnant, is that there's potentially anything wrong with your baby. That is, like, that's every woman's worst fear into going into getting pregnant. That's the biggest fear for every single woman. So the worst thing that you can hear is, yes, something went wrong or something is wrong. It's so fucking sad. And, like, to have this, like, portrayed the way it is, now I really do get why the internet blew up about this shit the way they did.
Ashley is almost halfway through this thing. Not saying we forced it, but, like, the kid seemed healthy, and there's been stories where the kid comes out and is, like, super functional, and so it's like, I don't know. There's just a lot to digest, and we're not really going to be doing that in this video. We just wanted to let you guys in on what the results were. Where's your head at?
What the results were. Oh my god, bro. He's so fucking nasty. I hate him. I fucking hate this guy.
It just got way more scarier now. I have nothing else to say.
Okay, guys, we're gonna take some time to process this and figure out what's going on. If we're a little radio silent for a bit after this comes out.
Oh no. That's what they should have done. Wait till you fucking see what I show you, what this motherfucker did instead.
Hope you understand. You'll know why. Just things have been pretty dark for a while for us, and we thought this was going to be a nice little ray of sunshine, and it's not. Sorry to be crying, dude. It's a lot.
Then turn the camera off. Like, at what point is the video over? At what point are they done?
I was so sure that it was sitting here. I had the nursery picked out. I was ready.
Like, this is just tragedy farming at this point, bro.
I had to start all over again. The start of our journey, you know, of just trying to start a family. This is how it starts.
A lot of people, it's not easy ever, you know? Whether it's a
Nah, barely clocked that. Barely said, wait, he apologized for crying and hasn't shed a tear because he's apologizing for her crying. Like, that's just how weird this shit is, bro. Like, he's so emotionless. Even, like, her, like, talking now, almost, like, I now get what you're saying about the hamming it up. Like, they're being like, well, I picked out the nursery. Like, that didn't feel real when she said that.
Marriage out the gate, you know, or something like this. Or can't even get pregnant, like she said. I mean, I know it's hard to look at, like, silver linings, but, I mean, the fact that you can get pregnant is good. We weren't sure. And it was... Bro, it was instant. Oh, yeah. We don't know why this happens. Maybe it is a birth control over a decade.
Bro, what is wrong with him? What is actually so wrong with this motherfucker? Imagine. Dude, this is... I'm so angry watching this. Your wife just goes through this, your girlfriend, whatever, goes through this, and you're now gonna list all the reasons why it potentially could have happened? Actually go fuck yourself. Actually go fuck yourself. It could have been fucking anything. And to list any reason to potentially make somebody feel worse in that moment, like, actually go fuck yourself.
Maybe it is just random genetic sequencing and it glitches, you know, just like cancer cells. Like, sometimes it's just, we don't know. Alright, so I'm gonna kill the camera. Love you, Jays, to death. We'll get through this and, well, you guys know what shakes down.
And of course it fucking doesn't end there. These should have done the radio silence, and I fucking fully mean that, because let's fucking see where shit goes, because it gets, oh my god, it gets fucking worse, y'all. So then, TMZ's reported on a couple things that they've actually had to say about the subject, so we're gonna run through some of the stuff. So let's start with this next post here. Let me zoom this out a little bit. So Mcjuggernuggets. This was, I believe, the day after the next day, or the following day after that. I've never seen such hate and vitriol for two people grieving the loss of their unborn child and making an impossible decision. The last 24 hours have exposed a side of humanity that is deeply disturbing, being called murderous pieces of shit, evil compared to Hitler, and receiving non-stop death threats. Seeing my 6-year-old dog with stage 4 kidney disease be used as a weapon, manipulating my words and intent in a tweet, or saying will regret this decision forever and must repent to God is absolutely insanity. If you ever wanted to marvel at the depravity of people online, just check the replies on my latest tweet. It's a shit show of epic proportions. This is reflective of the current world and the landscape that we're all living in. On the other hand, there has been tremendous stories of people who have kept their Down syndrome baby, and that is awesome. Very courageous, and they do look happy. That is your choice, and I support it. This was ours, and we can do that. It's very easy to accept the differences between us when it has no actual bearing on your life. What shocked me most of all was that this story has become mainstream news. A couple's abortion is suddenly newsworthy in 2026. There are over 1 million abortions every single year for a myriad of reasons, and this is happening on a daily basis and is the most common outcome for trisomy 21, yet this blows up and people are surprised. The reason this blew up is quite simple, because nobody talks about it. No, why did it blow up the way it did? Because people actually started looking into who you were as a person. It probably wouldn't have blown up beyond just being YouTube news, something that TMZ reported on, if people didn't start actually looking into your channel and seeing the way that you were even covering it, seeing that your entire channel is just tragedy farming. Let's go look. Like, let's just, like, go look. All right. Some of the videos. We received devastating news. Psycho update. Psycho dad destroys Nintendo Switch 2. Mcjuggernuggets says goodbye to kid behind a camera. We're having a baby. Kid behind a camera apologizes to Mcjuggernuggets. Mcjuggernuggets wedding. Kid behind a camera, Mcjuggernuggets react to a movie trailer. The proposal. Giving Psycho dad his second dream car. Mcjuggernuggets undergoes surgery. Mcjuggernuggets rush to the emergency room. Say goodbye to Poopy John. And it looks like he's putting his dog down. Mcjuggernuggets saves this man. Mcjuggernuggets destroys this man's career. Like, it's the same style of content. Like, but we continue. So let's go ahead. Oh, also, just a quick reminder that I have not updated the goal on this screen, so that is wrong. We are 4 out of 10 5s for me to play a horror game. If we get 6 more, either this episode or next episode, we'll either hit that tomorrow's gaming stream or Friday's gaming stream, and then I'll have you guys vote for what game I'll play. Also, please do like the stream if you can. It really does help my channel. I do appreciate y'all, and if you can leave a comment on the stream after it's over, that would also be greatly appreciated. All right, but let me go ahead and continue on this post that he made. What's more troubling is a lot of these people use God or Jesus as their justification for threatening us and wanting to cast us into hell. That seems pretty hypocritical. So many saying they would have kept the child, put it up for adoption, or are suddenly ready to adopt a Down syndrome child. That's great. You can do all those things. However, many of the people throwing stones don't even have children, let alone one with a condition, and most likely will never do the things that they say they're going to do. There's been some heinous shit said about my wife and I on some extremely large accounts. It baffles me that there are such trashy-ass people who have significant followings. If you can't contribute anything meaningful to the conversation aside from insults, then just don't post. I can't blame people for not talking about those vulnerable experiences publicly because you see the disgusting backlash that ensues. It's very divisive. Luckily, after 20 years on the internet, this is par the course for me taking the crazies, so I'm glad I can help further this conversation. That's exactly why I wanted to share this story. People still need to see the vulnerability and hear the raw truth. There is real suffering going on, and it is being done in silence and fear. So many mothers have reached out privately commending us on our bravery to speak truthfully about this topic, and we really appreciate that support. We want you to feel less alone in this and less ashamed. There has never been a more important time to speak up about the things that matter. Do not let the vocal minority stop you from sharing your truth. Now, why do most people choose to keep things like that to themselves, keep it private? Because it's a private situation, not because most people are going to shit on you. Yes, there's always going to be those, what do you call them? The pro-lifers who are going to shit on you for the decisions that you have to make. But in general, how many abortions happen daily and the women aren't criticized? Like, the biggest problem here is the way that you guys portrayed this online and portrayed it like it was a content story. So people are taking you doing this as it's all for content. They might even think that you choosing to have the abortion was a content move because of the way that you presented it. Do I think that? No. But do I think there's people who genuinely believe that? Yes. Devastator said the decision itself is divisive, but they are getting backlash because they made the decision into content. The majority of backlash is not pro-life versus pro-choice. Exactly. Click that. Moonkitten said they're not pro-life, they're anti-abortion. That's true. They just call themselves the pro-life movement, and I couldn't think of the term I was looking for, but you're very right on that. I agree with you, Moonkitten. I believe that women should be able to do whatever decision they choose right for their lives. Whatever reason, if any of you out there have ever had an abortion or have to have an abortion, that is your business. That is totally up to you, and it's not anybody's right to question you on it. You don't need to explain it to anybody. It can be your private thing. If you want it to be, you can tell people about it if you want to, but it's nobody's right to judge you for your decisions. Nobody's lived your life and knows what you've been through. So that's all I want to say about that. But continuing on this, he says, those who have been affected by this or are confronted with a similar situation in the future, we have your back, and please feel free to reach out to us. I'm sure this will follow us a while, especially we try for a kid again in the near future. A quick aside, be careful where you source your information online, whether it's disturbing propaganda accounts, AI, rage bait, fearmongers. We're living in a complicated time, and authenticity and empathy will be the most important currencies of the future. Authenticity and empathy will be the most important currencies of the future. Well, then someone who's never been authentic once or empathetic once, maybe you should learn what those words mean. Anyway, I can see all these words getting minced and twisted again so people can grow their followings and stir outrage. It's a natural ecosystem after all. Bottom feeders have to get their meal too. Oh, you want to talk about a beat up bottom feeder and how big accounts handled this situation afterward? Oh, well, we'll show your live stream. Hopefully, our story has inspired others to open up more and we can all find understanding at the end of the day. I'm grateful that the discourse about our decision has spread so wide. It's clearly a very important and sensitive topic, one that we need to pay more attention to. Thank you to everybody who's been supportive during this time and defended our choices as parents. It means more than you'll ever know. Also, my wife is badass. Not only did she go through this trauma, but she's dealing with all the freaks on the internet in stride. Love you, babe. Let's look into the future. Now, there's one more post we actually have to get into before we pull up the live stream. Okay. So, they did an interview, actually, with TMZ. And I want to react to some of this because I do think it's a little bit interesting what's said here.
Sometimes when you record your lives in real time this way, it can take unexpected turns that can really be emotionally gut-wrenching. And I'm just wondering how you feel about the fact that you now have this all recorded, you've posted it.
This is what I talk about when I say that TMZ doesn't get the fucking story right. This wasn't a live stream, motherfucker. This was posted as an edited video. It's not like he had the choice to upload it. He chose that. Crazy.
It lives with you.
Sorry. Uno moment. I actually gotta fucking text him back. Okay. And yeah, let me go ahead and keep playing this for you guys. What does TMZ stand for? The something.
Wondering what your reaction is about all that.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've been doing content for 20 years now. For the first half, it was a lot of fictional stuff like series and whatnot.
For the first half. Is he not trying to imply that the videos he made in the past year are also fictional? Because they are clearly fictional.
Is an not unexpected, but just a harsh turn in being so vulnerable on camera and sharing it. You know, you open yourself up to scrutiny, and with this topic, you know, we really wanted to let people in on our excitement to be first-time parents, and you know, we're met with the news.
You're met with the news. You. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking crash out. It's just so frustrating watching this. And I'm not going to lie, based on the time, we're probably going to have to wait till tomorrow to get into the full thing with the live stream because I do want to get through this. And there's only about 9 minutes left for today because I got some stuff to do. But if we don't finish this up, we will finish this up tomorrow.
And we felt we still needed to be transparent with our audience. And then it's taken on a life of its own outside of our bubble.
And I feel like sharing what we have, you know, thus far is something I will never regret. I don't regret, you know, sharing our truth and our journey to starting a family.
I will say it was really difficult to watch both of you just break down for several minutes as you read the test results. Did you ever think about, you could be transparent in telling your audience, your followers, what the test results were without showing them you actually opening the test.
Wow, what a crazy concept. Wow, who would have thought? Wow, that you could tell them what the results are without showing them you breaking down? I have hiccups, sorry. Wow.
Results. That was the part that just felt, I felt like it was invasive, like I shouldn't be watching this pain that this couple is going through like this.
Yeah, we grappled with that.
We did, but if, you know, with this is such a...
Notice how he looked to her to answer for this one. Just want to point that out. Notice how he did a little, you answer this one.
Common thing that happens, and I feel like if you were a fly on the wall with anybody receiving any type of news like this, that we reacted the same as everyone else. We just decided to share it.
And we really thought it was going to be good, so that's why we were filming it. But then after it turned the way it did, I you know, because I have to upload everything, I throw it in the editor, and I'm just like, is this going to be a net positive or net negative? And I feel uncomfortable. You know, she's bawling, we're emotional, it's so vulnerable. And then I thought that...
So emotional, so vulnerable, with the blankest monotone voice, very much seeming like you don't give a fuck about the situation, seeming like you never cared about the situation to begin with, because even in the video where you're announcing the fucking results, you are literally so monotone. But Traz is so right. They didn't even have to post it. They actively chose to post this shit.
People aren't showing this, ever, because it's so hard. And you open yourself up to the bad, but I feel like the world is almost lacking in that vulnerability. With the death threats and everything, it has been shocking. Close people to us, very judgmental, religious-based, saying we're gonna burn in hell. You know, we deserve to die. You know,
I don't deserve to be a mother because of, you know, the decision that we just made.
Yeah, we had a gate installed. You know, I have a gun next to my nightstand because it's been getting so ridiculous. And they've been coming to emails, DMs, you name it. It's been, we've seen the darkest side of humanity through this.
Are you also not gonna act like you haven't kind of just made this situation into like a fucking another tragedy farm content meme on your channel? Like, what? It's just so crazy to me. Dude, Alexis put it so perfectly. He saw this pregnancy as money and content since the fucking beginning. Clock it. Clock it. Actually so insane. Oh my god. So crazy to me. Also, just want to remind you guys in the last 5 minutes that if we do hit this goal for the horror gaming stream tonight, I will do it tonight. If we hit it tomorrow, I will do it on Friday, but I will keep the goal running today, tomorrow, whatever. So, yeah, we'll see if we hit that.
Process. Hopefully, you get pregnant again and everything works out. Are you going to be as transparent this time around as you were last?
I don't know. I'm still like living in this, obviously. So it's definitely something that we'll think about moving forward, but I never not want to be transparent.
Yeah, just how hateful it's become has...
How do you cry with literally not a single tear?
Definitely caused a bit of a shift in our vulnerability, but we want to keep pushing forward and remember, you know, that it is helping people. And you know,
tears went away real
for better or worse, the conversation that's being had online is one of the most important topics. You know, everyone wants is part of a family, potentially wants to start one, and this is something that, you know, we're two perfectly normal people. We'd never imagined confronting having a child with Down syndrome, and you don't think it'll happen to you, and then it does, and you like to think you know what you do in that situation, just given the information that you know, but there was so much that we were unaware of and how hard it was.
And I really want to be here to advocate for all the women in my DMs.
I thought she was crying. Also, how are you advocating for anybody when you turn this into a content farm? It's just so gross. So gross.
And, you know, I feel for them and I see them and you know, we all relate to each other, and I just want to be that voice for them to say, like,
it is giving Uncanny Valley. You're right,
it's scary out there, but like the more that we put ourselves out there and say that this is...
motherfucker.
Ooh.
I want to watch Zay play a scary game, Bleed Purple Brain Slug.
Wait, Bleed Purple Brain Slug. Okay, hit that shit, Gregory. Sorry, why you sound like that? Thank you, Barely, for the $15 tip. So that takes us to 7 out of 10 on this horror game. We only need 3 more $5, and then I will be playing it tonight. We got 3 minutes. 3 5s in 3 minutes. Is it possible? I don't know.
Is a normal thing that, you know, we could talk about, and yeah, I just want to help them in any way that I can.
Bum, bum, bum. Thank you, TMZ. Sorry. It reminds me of like the Law and Order. Dun 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 dun. All right, so before we go, I'm gonna just give you guys like a little bit of a taste of what we're gonna get into tomorrow, because we definitely don't have time for the full thing, but I actually have one clip that we could pull, because TMZ actually reported on the live stream from last night. Sorry if you didn't hear me. TMZ reported on the live stream from last night, because it's actually that crazy. So let me go ahead and just play this one little clip, because this will give you a taste. We're going to be doing like a bit of a full reaction to this tomorrow. This might not be the main topic. This will probably once again be the secondary topic, but we'll see, depending on what comes out.
He's actually going to end it just so I can just say goodbye real quick. Yeah, of course I'm glad my dad didn't terminate me. But I'm normal. So, but guys, thank you so much for an amazing stream.
Just in case you didn't hear that.
Just so I can just say goodbye real quick. Yeah, of course I'm glad my dad didn't terminate me. But I'm normal. So,
yeah, Danny, you heard that right. But I'm normal. That comes from a 3-hour live stream that he did. Let me see. I want to say it was last night. It's called A Time Capsule 10 Years Later. Yeah, 3.5 hours. This was 2 days ago, actually, on June 6th. And just to give you an idea, this is what it fucking looks like. So he's like in a room surrounded by "I'm a psychopath" written all over the wall. And he's doing just, I guess, normal Mcjuggernuggets thing. I don't know what his normal fucking content is like. This guy's a fucking loon. But imagine saying some shit like that. After trying to sympathy bait and be like, oh, I've seen the darkest parts of the internet, all the terrible things that they've said. And then say some fucked up, heinous ass shit like that. Actually go fuck yourself, bro. Simply. But that is where we are ending off for today. We will get more into that live stream tomorrow. I may or may not... Wait, is it gaming stream night tonight? What day is it today? It is not gaming stream night tonight, and we did not hit the goal for the horror game. So I will leave it up to do tomorrow. And if we do hit it tomorrow, then I will play the game on Friday, depending on whatever it is. But thank you guys so much for tuning into today's stream. I really do appreciate all of you guys pulling up, who've shown up and shown out. I think I did already let you guys know I hit the 3K watch hours. I'm just waiting on it to update on the Earn tab itself. On the Earn tab, it's showing 2.2K. So probably by either tomorrow or maybe Thursday by the latest, I should actually be able to apply, and then it takes 3 to 5 days. So fingers crossed, y'all, that I'll have memberships and emotes and all that good stuff starting next week. But if not, it should be the following week, just to get an idea. V Midnight said just need $5 tomorrow. Exactly. Oh yeah, I didn't hit Love Island today. I actually did not get to hit my Love Island recap today. I am out of time because I gotta go run and do some shit. But we will probably do a Love Island like T-cap tomorrow of like all of the episodes that I haven't been recapping, because there's been a lot going on, and you guys need to make sure you're in the Discord so you can come watch Love Island with us tonight. If you are not caught up, get yourself caught up. There is some crazy tea about to go down, and it is going to be well worth it. So do not miss it. Make sure you're in the event VC at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. It's Love Island night, bitches, and it's going to be so good. All right. Well, I'm going to get you guys passed off to maybe somebody. Let me see if there's a redirect. Usually Exile's live around this time, so it really helps as far as being able to send you guys somewhere. Yes, he is. Beautiful. Yeah, he's live. And then Nightmare doesn't go till 8. Okay, so that's helpful. So I'll send you guys over to Exile. I think he's still playing Yoshi's Book game. So if you guys want to go check out Exile, let's go check him out right now. And have a great... What was I going to say? I was going to say night, and then I lost myself. Have a great night, y'all.